Hey guys, today we are going to see about IP tables in Linux. So Linux provides us a net filtering framework which has several kernel modules defined for several specific tasks like filtering of packets, netting and mangling. Now to use these kernel modules we have one of the tool which is present in Linux, and that is IP tables. So IP tables is basically a tool which instructs the Linux kernel what to do for the IP packets when they arrive or leave our Linux box. Now if I go by the definition which is provided in the man pages of IP table, it says it's an administration tool for IPv4 or IPv6 packet filtering and NAT in Linux. Now there are several options which are available which can be used with the iptables command, and these are -i, that is used for inserting any rule at any specific location. -e is used for appending, and -d is for deleting that rule. And these are some of the most commonly used options which are used with the iptable command. And the final and one more command that is used, and one more option that is used with iptable is the -f, and this is used for flushing all the rules. And if any chain is provided with this option like iptables and any chain name, then it will flush all the rules in this particular chain. So these are the few options which are most commonly used with iptables. Now this video is basically about understanding the iptables rule in our system and how they work. So let me quickly open my system and do iptables-s. So here you can see there are several rules which are defined in my system, or we can say iptable rules. And what is and what are the chains here? So these are basically the chains. These are the chains which are present in my system, and these are the rules which are related to this particular chain. So here if I want to explain, then I will say that this is my input chain, and this is the rule which governs any IP packet which comes to my system, since it's an input chain. Now first thing we should note is, whenever a packet comes to my system, it will read the rules from top to bottom. So basically iptables read the rules from top and towards the bottom. So it works in a top down approach, or top down approach, or top bottom you can say. So now let's say, so what does this basically these rules meant or means is, the first -p says or defines the policies for those packets which does not match with these particular rules in my system. So let's say I have a packet which is coming from any IP. I'm taking any random IP. So let's say I have a packet which is coming from 10.56.56.78 to my system. Now if I read these particular rules, then how this packet traverses is, first it will read these first three rules. So it says, okay, the policy says, so these first three are basically the policies, that if my packet does not match any rule in the below list of rules, then finally what it will do is it will accept that packet. So it is saying that hyphen p, that policy for input is accept. So any packet which is coming will be accepted if it does not matches any of the rules uh, defined in my list of rules in my iptables. Now what I will do is, so these are the policies. Now what is hyphen n stand, what does hyphen n stands for? It stands for the new chains which are added by any applications to my system or uh, to my IP tables. So here we have several new chains which are added to my IP tables, and these are all new chains. So these were uh, as I can see here when I installed Docker. So these were the new chains which were added to my system. Now the real processing starts from here. So it is saying hyphen a input. So it is saying any packet coming for the input and the state, or if it, the connection track matches the state, it is saying that it should match, uh, it should work on the match of connection tracking. And what is the state here? It is saying the state of the connection, or uh, the packet which is coming from the any IP, if it is already established connection, or it is the state of the connection is like related, established and dnet, it should accept the rule. But since in my example I am taking a single packet which is coming from this particular IP, so if I see here, it will not match this rule because this is my first packet which is coming from this particular IP. So it is not a established connection here, so it will not match this particular rule. So now it will go to the next rule. It is saying any input packet which is coming from the interface, that is LO, that is loopback, so it should accept that packet. So again, this particular packet is not coming from any loopback address, and basically loopback address is the IP of my own system, so it is not coming from that particular IP, so it will not match this particular rule. Now the third interesting rule here is, it is saying any input packet coming should jump to input direct. So what it will do is it will jump to input direct. So hyphen j is basically an action which is saying that hey, jump to input direct. Now it will search for input direct, and since there is no input direct here, so what it will do is it will throw a warning that there is no such input direct chain in your system. After that it will come to the fourth rule, and here it will say hyphen a jump to input zones. Now it will go to input zones. Here you can see there are several rules which are defined in input zones, and it starts from here. So it is saying that any packet which is coming from interface this and hyphen g, if it is coming from this particular interface, then go to in public. So it is saying that if it is coming from this one, then go to in public. So basically our packet is not coming from this particular interface. So to check from which interface my packet is coming, we will have to use uh, several such any tool like Wireshark to see from which interface it is coming. But since I am assuming that it is not coming for this particular interface, or it is not coming to this particular interface, so it will not go to this particular in Docker. So if in case it matches this one, it will go to, so here we are saying go to in Docker. So what will happen here is it will go to this particular chain in Docker, and then it will start matching these rules. And if finally it is not able to match anything, then it will finally accept this, because at the end of this we have written that accept this particular packet if it does not matches any of these rules. Now we assumed that this particular packet is arriving at this interface, but now let me take the negative case that it is not for this particular interface. Now what it will do is it will read the another one, and it will go on reading all these rules, and if it does not matches any of these rules, what it will do is it will get back to the top. So here we have seen that in case of go to, it will just go to this particular section, and it will never return back to the next line. But in case of jump, what it will do is it will read this particular section, and then it will come back to this particular input chain. So here we have seen that input zones were there. Then we have again we will see our control or our rule matching will start from the next line, because here we have used jump, so it will first jump from here to the input zone, and then the control will again come to the next line. So there is a difference between the jump and go to. You can read it more on the net. So basically jump brings back your control to the next line, but go to will never return your control to the next line, and it will remain in the input chain where you have used the go to statement. Now the next statement says that any packet which is coming, and again it is matching the connection tracking. So if the connection state is invalid, then drop this packet. And here we can see again that our packet is the first packet, so there is no connection state for it. Now we are saying action any input packet which is saying reject with ICMP host prohibited. So if it is saying that any input packet which rejected with this particular message, so here it will drop my particular packet with this particular message. So here you can see that my packet or my connection from this IP will be dropped due to this particular rule, and the error message which will be shown to the user or in my logs will be like this: reject with us. So there is a difference between the reject and the drop. In the case of reject, the user is given or returned with an error message, but in case of drop, it will be a silent dropping of packets, and the user will not get any acknowledgement or error message on his end whenever the packet is rejected by my Linux box. So this is how the flow of the packet happens in case of IP tables. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video, and do like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.